بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. السلام عليكم أحبائنا, my beloved ones, ورحمة الله وبركاته. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم. Today is the martyrdom of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam, father of our Imam, Sahib al-Zaman, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif. So we offer our sincere condolences to our beloved Imam Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-Sharif, on the demise of the wafat of his father, Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam. And Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam was one of those youngest Imams to be martyred. So Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi salam, he was martyred. He was 25 years old, and Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam, 28 years old. And the way we can see is the time of Imamat alayhi salatu wasalam, of Imam Hassan al-Askari, the period of Imamat, for practicing Imamat, was 5 years, about 5 years. The shortest period an Imam of our Aimma alayhi salatu wasalam who practiced his Imamat. Shortest period. And the longest period is his son, Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu. Shortest period, longest period. So that shows how much tyranny there was and how much oppressive the regime was in the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam. And the last Aimmas like Bani al-Abbas, they were worse than Bani Umayyah. In the time of Bani Umayyah, Imams would live longer time. In the time of Bani Abbas, la'natullahi alayhim, except for those who were followers of Ahlul Bayt, they are not included in this la'na, naturally, because when we do la'na to those who are enemies of Ahlul Bayt, who hurt Ahlul Bayt, who killed Ahlul Bayt. But if this group, they have some nice, obviously, the exceptional cases are always there. But when we send damnation, we are sending damnation in general to those people who had animosity against Ahlul Bayt. So that was something, and I hope that you can attend the majalis on YouTube Live. There are so many majalis available. Inshallah, we are going to take this lesson because we need to conclude the chapter of Wasiyah. There are 3 rulings left. We'll finish it, and then we'll start from next week, inshallah, the chapter of Niyaba, the representation. So there was Wasiyah, and now there is Niyaba, Naib. Naib, somebody who is representative. And Wasiyah, the one who has the will to execute the representation after the death. And the Wakil is somebody who's representing a person to buy or to purchase or something. In other words, that Wakil is also in a way or another a Naib. We can discuss this next week. Let's try to conclude the chapter of Wasiyah. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. So we were discussing about we discussed ruling number 98. We mentioned ruling number 99. So ruling number 99 till 102 are all about somebody who was entrusted, okay, some wealth to perform the Hajj on behalf of a person after his death. So it was Wasiyah. It was Wasiyah. So there was a Wasiyah to perform the Hajj on behalf of the one who dies after death. The Wasiyah is executed. Okay? So here we go. Now, there's a small introduction I want to give. We have a concept of amanat. Let's say I give one of you this cup to secure amanat. The cup breaks in your hand. So when I come back, where is my cup? You bring me into pieces. So I tell you, I gave you a full cup. You are giving me pieces. You know what happened? It broke. Okay. So now what should I do? Should I hold this person whom I entrusted him this cup to take care of it while I am not there, should I make him liable? Should I consider him liable? Should I ask him to bring me a new cup? Should I ask him to bring me a nice, or pay for it? So in our fiqh rules, there are these two statements, and memorize it. Yadul amina, yadu ihsan. Yadul amina, yadu ihsan. Al yadul amina, yadu ihsan. That means the hand of trust. You gave him, why? Because you trust him. So he did a favor upon you. So you can't hold him liable. Because when you gave him, you know that he's right person, truthful person, trustworthy person. That's why you gave him. If he was not trustworthy and you gave him and it broke, then you hold the responsibility. If you know he's not trustworthy, why did you give it to him? You see? So when you gave it to him, that means you believe that he's trustworthy. And that's why you gave him. So when he gives you back broken, and there is no evidence of his mishandling of the trust. What? Mishandling. You don't have any evidence. You're doubting. This guy must have kept it somewhere on the shelf where it fell. There's that, this guy. Shaitan will come bring thousands of doubts in your mind. But the thing is, no. Al-yadul amina, yadu ihsan. Al-yadul amina, yadu ihsan. The hand of trust, the one whom you give trust, is hand of favor. Hand of favor, you cannot hold that hand liable. You cannot hold that person liable. Unless if you have evidence. Yeah, you have evidence. The cup broke in his house. And the father, he just gave you this. The father said, see, my son, he was taking care of it, and he became angry. And in anger, he smacked the cup on the wall and he broke. Now you have evidence, you have testimony that there has been a violation to this poor cup. So like many times people, when they get angry, like many wives, they complain. So they get angry, their house becomes the house of flying saucers and flying plates and flying forks and spoons and flying remote controls, you see, flying keys, anything in the hand, whack on the wife. So if the wife is not martial art or doesn't have this baseball catching thing, she's not expert in baseball, poor wife, she'll get the strike. Okay, it happens because they call us and they complain. Today my husband threw a plate on my head. Today my husband threw a spoon on me, or remote on me, as his cell phone. So she's a target of these abusive husbands. So this is not right. Obviously, this is not what Islam said, and this is totally taken out of the context. Even the verse of the beating has so many conditions and so many contexts. It's not just like beat the hell out of your wife with flying saucers and flying plates and flying glasses and flying cups and flying remotes and flying keys. So anyhow, so the father said, my son, he was angry, and then he just took your cup and threw it. Okay, then his brother came. Okay, now knock, yes. I need the money of my cup, or bring me similar cup. No, but I'm yadu amana, yadu amina, yadu ihsan. I was doing favor. Yes, you did favor, but I have evidences that you messed up with the favor. There is testimony against you. So please, I need my cup, or I need. This is yadu amina. The another hand is al yadul adiya, the hand of transgressing. Hand of transgressing. Adiya from ta'adda, from transgressing. Ulaika humul mu'tadun. Those are the transgressors of the limits. Okay? You have your cup in your house. Your friend came and took it. You're telling him, please don't touch the cup. And he just touches it falls and breaks. So now you have to pay. No, why? It just fell accidentally. No accident. You were told not to touch, correct? Yes. And you touched, correct? Yes. And it fell down. Then you transgressed your limits. Pay the price of my cup. Otherwise, on the day of judgment, I'll be there on Sirat asking my cup. Once you are free from everything, you're going in the Jannat, and I'm standing on the way. My cup, remember, I'm not forgiving you. Put your deeds, good deeds in it, and take my good deeds, bad deeds. Okay? Yeah, that's serious. You transgress on other people, they tell you no, khalas, no. Then if they tell you no, and even accidentally you do it and happens, you are liable and responsible. Al-ghasib yu'khad bi ashadd al-umur. The ghasib is taken with tough measures. The transgressor, the usurper, is taken with toughest punishments or liabilities and all those kind of things. Al-ghasib yu'khad bi ashaq al-umur. The most difficult ones, you can charge them. No, you know, the cup is not sold here. Get a ticket, go somewhere else, buy it wherever. I need my cup. But the cup doesn't cost like more than $10, and I spent $50 ticket to buy. Yes. If you don't do that, then on the day of judgment, you can take toughest measure on him. Why did he usurp? Why did he transgress the limits? And we're talking about the cup in Islamic laws. What about those who usurp Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayha's property? Subhanallah, how will they face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We are talking about cup, a small $5, $10, whatever cup. There is no mercy in Islam on a transgressor, on an oppressor, on a tyrant, on a ghasib, usurper. No mercy. You have to fix the problem. Otherwise, on the day of judgment, you are in deep trouble. So that is the al-yadul ghasiba, yadun adiyah. Yadun adiyah, not adiyah means normal. Adiyah means the transgressing hand. Muta'addi from ulaika humul mu'tadun. They are the transgressors. After knowing these two things, if a person dies and before his death, he entrusts someone with the money to do Hajj. That money is deteriorated. Now what will we do? Should we hold that person accountable? Give us the money of our father. You took the money of our father for Hajj and you lost it. It got deteriorated. We need that money. Should we hold him accountable? Liable? No. Why? Because he was entrusted. And when you entrust somebody, that means you know the consequences, that whatever happens, he will not be doing it intentionally and deliberately. If you know that he's deliberately going to lose, then you are a dumb person or out of your mind to give your amanat to somebody like that. So then you are to be held responsible. Why did you give it to somebody whom you knew that he was not going to take care of it? So that means normally in the intellectual society, this is an intellectual concept. When people, they entrust someone, they entrust depending on their goodwill, their benefit of doubt, their thoughts that this person is a good person, he'll take care of it. So that means if any accidents happen, no liability, no accountability. You don't hold them accountable. So this is what we want to mention in this ruling today. Ruling number 99. لو مات الوصي ولم يعلم أنه استأجر الحج قبل موته وجب الاستئجار من التركة. We mentioned this ruling. Okay, if the wasi, if the one who made the will, okay, he dies, لو مات الوصي ولم يعلم, and we did not know, we knew that there's Hajj on him, okay, or we did not know that did he hire someone for Hajj or not. So what will happen? We knew that our dad wanted Hajj. Our dad wanted, be it Hajjat al-Islam or be it a mustahab Hajj. We knew that our dad wanted a Hajj. But we don't know, did he hire someone or not? So we will say, yes, hire. Hire. Why? Hire for Hajjat al-Islam from the principal wealth, from if it was recommend Hajj, which he had desired, from the 1/3. Okay. This is what was the ruling, which we stopped here. لو مات الوصي, if the person who designated a will, the deceased, if he dies and it was not known, it was known that he wanted Hajj, but it was not known that did he hire someone before he died, then it will be obligatory to hire someone from the principal wealth if the required Hajj was Hajjat al-Islam, and from the 1/3 if the Hajj was not from Hajjat al-Islam. وَإِذَا كَانَ الْمَالْ قَدْ قَبَضَهُ الْوَصِي. Now the executor of the will, he took the money. وَكَانَ مَوْجُودًا. And the money was there. أُخِذَ. The heirs will take the money. Why? Because the one who was hired, he was supposed to do the Hajj. He did not do the Hajj. So take the money from him. أُخِذَ. But maybe he might have done Hajj, okay, from his own wealth. That's fine. That's fine. Even if there was a probability, because probability leads to he has not done. It's a doubt. Did he do or not? We'll consider not done. But maybe the money is there. Take the money. But maybe he did from his pocket money, his own money, the Hajj. That's fine. That's fine. We don't have knowledge. Maybe does not help here. Okay. Did he do or not? We need to know. So, ukhida, the wealth will be taken because we don't know that he has done or not, or he has hired or not. The money is there. We don't know did he hire someone or not, because the money for the hiring of the Hajj is there, but we don't know did he hire someone or not, or we don't know if the person was hired, did he go with his own wealth, or we are supposed to give him this wealth. أخذ وإن احتمل أن الوصي قد استأجر من مال نفسه وتملك بذلك بدلا عما أعطاه. Even if there was a probability that the one who, the executor of the will, the wasi, the guardian, I mean the one who was going to perform the Hajj or was responsible for hiring somebody, أن الوصي قد استأجر, the executor of the will, he hired someone من مال نفسه, from his own wealth, وتملك ذلك بدلا عما أعطاه, and he owned that money as a substitution, as an exchange for what he had paid from his pocket. So it was like he took it as a compensation for him. So now this is where the wealth is available. Now how can we picture that the wealth is available and we take it? The wealth was available, okay, and you go to the office of the executor of the will, the wasi, and you see the envelope is there and it's written Hajj for Fulan, which is for example my father. I don't know did he do the Hajj or not, and he was traveling, okay, and I was in his office accessing, so I took the money of the Hajj. Maybe secretary was there or something like that. For example, we're trying to see a sense of a scenario that makes sense, proper sense. So the executor is an attorney, the advocate is in his office. Okay, he's not there. His secretary is there. He saw on the table of the secretary an envelope which was written by my father. I said, this envelope is my father's. I'm going to take it. No, you can't take it. No, it's mine. Okay, it's our father's, and we needed to perform Hajj. Anyhow, he took it and ran away or something like that. And so now he's asking the religious authority, what should I do? He says, you take the wealth. If you don't know that he has done or not, if he has hired someone or not, you take the money if the money was available. Okay, maybe even if there was a possibility that the executor of the will might have done the Hajj from his personal wealth. Okay, وجب الاستئجار من so no. وإن احتمل أن الوصي قد استأجر, even if there was a probability that the executor of the will قد استأجر, had hired someone from his own wealth, وتملك ذلك, and he took the wealth of the envelope which was there, he took it for himself as a compensation of what he had paid from his pocket. So this is if the wealth was there, accessible to the heirs, they can take it from him or take it wherever, however then you can imagine the scenarios where you can picture that he's able to take the wealth. وَإِن لَمْ يَكُنِ الْمَالُ مَوْجُودًا, if the wealth was not available, that was available. فَلَا ضَمَانَ عَلَى الْوَصِيِّ, there will be no liability on the executor of the will. Did he hire? Did he not hire? The wealth got deteriorated. He'll say, I don't have the money. So then khalas. لِاحْتِمَالِ تَلَفِي, maybe that wealth got deteriorated, got lost. بِلَا تَفْرِيطٍ, without any negligence. Why? Because he's يَدُ أَمِينَةٍ. الْيَدُ الْأَمِينَةِ يَدُ إِحْسَانٍ. Because he was entrusted as an executor of the will to hire someone, that means he was a trustworthy person in the eye of the deceased. If he says, oh, so you see, the money got lost, the money got stolen, the money this, the money that, we will not hold him liable for it, unless if we have evidence that he was negligent. Ruling number 100. إِذَا تَلَفَ الْمَالِ فِي يَدِ الْوَصِيِّ بِلَا تَفْرِيطٍ, if the wealth, again repeating, if the wealth which was supposed to be used to hire someone for Hajj, and it was with the executor of the will. إِذَا تَلَفَ الْمَالِ فِي يَدِ الْوَصِيِّ, if the wealth of the mayyit, obviously, which is supposed to be given, used to perform the Hajj, it got deteriorated in the possession of the executor of the will. بِلَا تَفْرِيطٍ, without any negligence. There is no evidence that he was negligent about it, like the one who broke the cup. No, it was not like that. لَمْ يَضْمَنْهُ, he will not be held accountable and liable for it. وَوَجَبَ, so what should we do? Our dad's Hajj is not done. وَوَجَبَ الْإِسْتِئْجَارِ مِنْ بَقِيَّةِ التَّرِكَةِ إِذَا كَانَ الْمُوصَى بِهِ حَجَّةَ الْإِسْلَامِ. So we need to hire someone from the principal wealth if it was the first Hajj of the Mayyit, Hajjat al-Islam. But if it was the recommended, then you take it from the 1/3 of the Mayyit. إِذَا كَانَ الْمُوصَى بِهِ حَجَّةَ الْإِسْلَامِ وَمِنْ بَقِيَّةِ الثُّلْثِ, and from the remaining of 1/3 of the Mayyit, إِنْ كَانَ غَيْرُهَا, if it was other than Hajjat al-Islam, that means any other Hajj, but not the first obligatory Hajj. فَإِنْ كَانَتِ so let's say the money, okay, 1/3 was given to the heirs. And now we realize that the guy did not execute the will and the money got deteriorated with him. So now what will you do? We already distributed the state, the inheritance. It's distributed. So فَإِنْ كَانَتِ الْبَقِيَّةُ مُوَزَّعَةً, if the remaining amount was distributed to the heirs, على الورثة, استرجع منهم بدل الإيجار بالنسبة. So the amount will be recollected from them. The amount will be recollected from them. How? Based on the ratio and the percentage of each heir. Like for example, the wife, where's my pen? Okay, the wife took 1/8 of the share. The girl took 1/3 multiplied by 1/8. That was the share of the girl. That means and the boy took 2/3. Sorry, let's just keep it simple rather than going into too many complications. So 1/7. So what was remaining? 7/8 from the property. 1/8. The wife takes 7/8 is divided 1/3 to the girl and 2/3 of the boy. So it was distributed. Now what should we do? The Hajj, we need to take out the money. The wealth given to the uncle executor has been deteriorated. What should we do? No problem. So the wife, so we have 10,000, or let's say 8,000 to make it simple. $8,000 for the Hajj, correct? Our example. So we have 8,000 for the Hajj. So the wife will give from her share 1,000. And the remaining 7,000, the girl will give from her share 1/3, and the boy will give from her share 2/3. So whatever they took, the percentages took, they will give based on the similar exact percentage, give it back, so that dad's Hajj is executed, performed. Okay, so this is something which, if you have not understood, go back to our video and review it. Okay, so this is what he says here. Yes. فإن كانت البقية موزعة. بقية what? بقية التركة. The wealth was distributed. We said if the wealth is deteriorated, what should we do? We should take from the principal amount, Hajjat al-Islam. If it's not Hajjat al-Islam, we take from what? From the 1/3 of the deceased. Let's say the baqiya, the remaining of the wealth deteriorated, we need to take out. But the remaining asset, baqiya, after the money was taken out from for the Hajj to hire someone to perform the Hajj on behalf of the deceased, what happened? The remaining baqiya was given to the heirs. Okay, so if that baqiya is given to the heirs, we need to take the shares, we need to take the Hajj amount from their shares. So each one will give based on the share they took. The percentage of each one giving will be the percentage of each one took. Okay, so they took like $80,000, something like that. We are talking about $8,000. So they will not give all their wealth. They will give the percentage. Each one will give percentage to add on and complete the $8,000 in our example, okay, or $10,000 in our hypothesis of this theme. Isturji'a minhum. It will be recollected back from them, taken away from them, returned from them. Badal al-ijar bin nisba, to hire someone, okay, with their percentage. وكذلك الحال إذا استؤجر أحد للحج ومات قبل الإتيان بالعمل ولم يكن له تركة أو لم يمكن الأخذ من تركته. So this scenario, similar ruling applies. He says, you gave someone money, 10,000, okay, that died, and that guy who was hired to perform the Hajj on behalf of the deceased, he got a shock and awe. Oh no, he died. No, it was his beloved one or something. He died also. Baba, don't die now, please. Do the Hajj of our father, then die. He has paid you $10,000. Khalas, dead. What are you talking to? Dead people? Anyhow, so what will they do? The guy he died doesn't have any inheritance, so that we can take the money of our father back. Okay? Or we cannot take anything. He spent it. He took the 10,000. He said, no, inshallah, I'll perform that. And he got married, and he gave it mahar to this wife, and the wife went to ziyarat and Hajj and finished. There's no money left. The money, 10,000, he took to perform Hajj, and then he died. So now who will do the Hajj? Same thing. If it was possible to take from his heirs, the one who died, وكذلك الحال إذا إن استؤجر أحد للحج ومات. Similar rule will apply to someone who was hired for Hajj and died. قبل الإتيان بالعمل, before performing the Hajj. ولم يكن له تركة, and he did not have any inheritance. So what will he do? أو لم يمكن الأخذ من تركته, or he has tarika, he has state, he has inheritance, but his children, no, we are not aware about this Hajj and this and that. Prove it to us. No, we don't have proof. Our dad hired your dad. No, we don't have evidence. We can't give you anything. Get lost. Something like that. You see? So, so two scenarios. Either the the executor or the person who was hired to perform Hajj, he took the money, died. Either he doesn't have any inheritance to be regained from that money, or he has inheritance, but the inheritors are tough guys. They don't want to give anything. They want proof, evidence. So وكذلك الحال, similar ruling will be applied in استؤجر أحد للحج, if someone was hired for Hajj, to do the Hajj on behalf of that person. ومات قبل الإتيان بالعمل, and he died before performing the Hajj. ولم يكن له تركة, and he did not have any inheritance, or he had أو لم يكن الأخذ من ترك يمكن الأخذ من تركته, or he had inheritance but it was not possible to take from his inheritance the amount which he had taken. Ruling number 101, إذا تلف المال في يد الوصي قبل الاستئجار. Okay, so the guy, the executor of the will, he took the money. He did before hiring, because he's supposed to hire. He has been given it in trust that if I die, you are the executor of my will, and this is the money. Please hire someone to do Hajj on my behalf. So إذا تلف المال, that money got deteriorated, damaged, lost. Okay. إذا تلف المال في يد الوصي, if the wealth, if the wealth became deteriorated in the hand of the executor of the will, قبل الاستئجار, before hiring somebody, ولم يعلم أن التلف كان عن تفريط لم يجوز تغريم الوصي, and they did not know whether he was purposely he lost the wealth, or unintentionally, or accidentally. There was no knowledge about it. Okay, then عفوا كان هناك أحد بالباب ولم يكن هناك أحد ليفتح. عفوا. نعم. So there was this executor. Again, let's pull the threads back. وكذلك الحال إذا استؤجر أحد للحج. Similar rule will apply. What was the rule? That we have to get inheritance. We have to get that, we have to perform the Hajj either from the principal or from the 1/3. A principal for Hajjat al-Islam, from 1/3 from non-Hajjat al-Islam, non-obligatory, first obligatory Hajj. So therefore, so that rule applies here as well, because the money, it was dedicated for the Hajj. The money was designated for the Hajj, and now that money is lost. So who should be paying this money? Is the payment would the payment be done by the one who, executor of the will? Because the executor, now see, there are two things. The first was that إذا تلف المال في يد الوصي بلا تفريط. Okay, وجب الاستئجار. So that one was the wealth got deteriorated. Here وكذلك الحال إذا استؤجر أحد للحج. Here it is not the executor of the will. Here is the person who was hired to perform the Hajj. You see the difference? In the previous ruling, we had the إذا تلف المال في يد الوصي بلا تفريط لم يضمن. This is repeated here. This is repeated in 101. Okay? So إذا تلف المال في يد الوصي, in the hand of the executor of the will. The similar rule will apply where? To the one who was hired. The wealth got deteriorated in his hand. وَمَاتَ قَبْلَ الْإِتْيَانِ بِالْعَمَلِ. That guy died before performing the Hajj. So these are the two scenarios. One is the wasi, the executor of the will, he was supposed to hire. And here is the one who was hired. The wealth got deteriorated. Now, should we consider him liable, accountable? No. Because you trusted him, that you gave him money, you gave him trust. So if you knew that he's going to deteriorate and damage, and he's going to biff, and he's going to take it away, and he's a spammer or a scammer or whatever words you want to use, if he is going to bluff you or something like that, cheat you, deceive you, why did you give him? Then you are responsible. But when uqala, intellectual society people, when they give trust, they know that these people are okay, apparently. Okay. Then if something happens, we cannot judge them that they did it purposely, intentionally. Okay. We have to consider benefit of doubt and the concept of goodwill. So therefore, إذا تلف المال so كذلك الحال إذا استؤجر أحد الحج ومات قبل الإتيان بالعمل ولم يكن له تركة. Now 101 goes back to the yadul wasi, see, the executor of the will. Now the wealth got damaged before in the hand of executor of the will. Before he was traveling and he got looted, his briefcase got looted, his wallet got looted, and the money of the Hajj was in that wallet or something like that, or the check was there and the check got. So qabla al-istijar, before hiring someone, it got. Walam yu'lam, and we did not know. No one knew, and it was not known that the damage or deterioration or the extent of the wealth or the amount was out of his negligence, okay, purposely done or not. We will say it will not be permissible to consider him accountable, the executor of the will. Okay, no. We have to take it out from where? From the principle. If it was Hajjat al-Islam, non-principle if it was other than Hajjat al-Islam. Final ruling: إذا أوصى بمقدار من المال لغير حجة الإسلام. The money was dedicated by the deceased for what? For non-Hajjat al-Islam. إذا أوصى بمقدار من المال لغير حجة الإسلام واحتمل أنه زائد على ثلثه. Remember the ruling: non-Hajjat al-Islam has to be taken out from 1/3. But this money which is given for non-Hajjat al-Islam, it is more than 1/3. Okay, it is more than 1/3. Let's say the wealth of the marhum was about about 30,000. That was the state inheritance. So 1/3 is 10,000. What is the wasiyah? 15,000. Oh, the amount is more than the 1/3, and it is not the wajib hajj. So what? Why are you so terrified and so grumpy and this and that? Because non-Hajjat al-Islam, non-Hajj wajib cannot go above the 1/3 of the total asset, total wealth left by inheritance, left by the mayyit. So there is 5,000 extra here. That is the right of the heir, not the right of the marhum. Okay, so that is why he said, إِذَا أَوْصَى بِمِقْدَارٍ مِنَ الْمَالِ. If he had made a wasiyah, made a will with a specific amount for non-Hajjat al-Islam, وَاحْتُمِلَ أَنَّهُ زَائِدْ عَلَى ثُلُثِهِ, and there was a probability that this wealth which was designated is more than 1/3 of his wealth left. لَمْ يَجُزْ صَرْفُ جَمِيعِهِ. بدون إحراز رضا ورثته. The whole 15, it would not be permissible to use the entire amount in the non-Hajjat al-Islam, in that Hajj. Why? Because 5,000 are for the inheritors, remaining inheritors. So it would not be permissible to spend the entire amount left, 15,000, the entire amount left in the wasiyah, in the will, without making assurance or confirming that the heirs are approving it. If the heirs say no, 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 no. If the heirs say no, we can't. Okay, then if 10,000 enough for Hajj, fine. If not enough, then we use it on another recommended acts. If there was multiple acts in recommended acts in the wasiyah, if there was only this Hajj, then the remaining 1/3 will go back to the mirath, inheritors, as we mentioned previously. So this is the rule, that if the Hajj in wasiyah, non-Hajjat al-Islam, is equal to thulth, fine. If more than thulth, then we cannot perform the Hajj. Then what will we do the money? If there was, if the will had multiple recommended acts, multiplicity of required acts, then we will put it in another. Saniya, books, Baraja, this, that, feeding the poor. There are a lot of other venues. But if it was no, the will indicated only Hajj, and the Hajj was not performable with this less amount, which is in the 1/3, then it will be returned to the waratha. It will go back to the inheritors. This is what he says. لم يجوز صرف جميعه بدون إحراز رضا ورثته. It would not be permissible to spend the entire amount, entire 15,000. No, because it's more than the 1/3, without the consent of the inheritors. إلا أن تقوم حجة على عدم زيادته. Unless if there was a proof or evidence that it is not more than 1/3. By checking the market, checking the airfare, checking everything. Oh, no, 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 no. The Hajj is 8,000 or 10,000. Halas. Then the 5,000 goes to the inheritors. There's no problem. Otherwise, we cannot do Hajj with this amount, with the extra, okay, without the permission of the inheritor. So, إلا أن تكل استصحاب على عدم زيادته, such as istisxab. We know that previously the Hajj was $10,000. Okay, now we doubt it is more, so we will say no, it is still $10,000. It's not more. على عدم زيادته. So, or other way we can understand this, that عدم زيادته, let's see, واحتمل أنه زائد بمقدار مال. Then, or we know that this money was not more than 1/3. Okay, now we doubt, is it more than 1/3? Because we had calculated it. We had calculated it before that it is not more than 1/3. Now people, they say, oh no, the Hajj is more than 1/3. This 1/3 is nothing. Okay, like 10,000 is nothing. It's more. It's expensive. But we are doubting. We'll say, okay, no, it's not. Or we don't know about the wealth. Did he leave 30,000? Did he leave 40,000? We have to still collect the wealth, and Hajj season is coming. So we don't know what should we do. So you're doubting. Was it more? Is the amount designated for the Hajj is more than the 1/3, or equal to 1/3, or less than 1/3? Before it was less than 1/3. We will consider it less than this amount. 15,000 is less than 1/3. That means before we saw that the amount was 45,000 total. Okay, or let's say 50,000 total. So 1/3 is 15,000, which designated by the Mayyat is less than 1/3, or was less than 1/3. But now we are seeing, oh, it is only 30,000. We don't know. I mean, did it decrease? Did 50,000 decrease? Did 45,000 decrease? So that is it still more than 1/3? Is it still less than 1/3, 15,000, or equal to 1/3, or more? We'll say no. Istishab. Istishab, he says, kal istishab. By using istishab, he says, previous yaqeen, continuation of doubt. So yaqinan, previously, the amount was what? More than 1/3. Previously, the amount, no, sorry, the wealth, previously the amount was less than 1/3 previously. Okay, because previously this was the total amount of inheritance of the marhum. Now we doubt, did this 50,000, 45,000 decrease? That means now this 15,000 is more than decreased to 30,000. So now we doubt that these 15,000 are more than 1/3, or no, still the amount is 50,000. So the 15,000 is okay, it's below 1/3. You know, when the total inheritance goes down, then this amount designated could 1/3 also goes down. That means the amount 15,000 would be more than 1/3. I hope you're understanding. I did not spin your mind. Let me just finalize this. This much amount was left by the mayyat. So the amount, I have to put three things. So this pen, let me hold this pen. Okay, somehow. Okay, let me use these three fingers. The amount left by the mayyat, 50,000. The amount, the amount, that inheritance, 50,000, 45,000. The amount, 1/3, 15,000. The amount dedicated by the mayyat, 15,000. So here, it's okay. We can use it for the Hajj. The other scenario, where the amount left by the mayyat decreases. So the 1/3 decreases. The amount left by the mayyat, 30,000. So what does it mean? That means the 1/3 got decreased to 10,000, from 15,000, 10,000. The amount left by the mayyat, 15,000. That is more than 1/3. In this case, we cannot use 15. Now, this ruling says, the end of this ruling says, we don't know that this 50,000 became 30,000 or not. That means 1/3 became 10,000 or still 15,000. Okay, we don't know. We will say, istishab. Previously, you knew that it was more, and 1/3 was equal to the dedicated amount. Now you are doubting, did it go down or not? We'll say, ignore that doubt, unless if you have yaqeen. Istishab, going back to the previous certainty. So that's why he says, illa, unless. So they cannot use it without permission of the inheritors, or there was a proof, such as istishab. The concept of istishab is extending the previous certainty, ala adam ziyadatihi, that this amount which was dedicated by the mayyat is not above the 1/3. It's equal to 1/3 or below 1/3. This was all about the ruling of wasiyah. Inshallah, next week we are going to start the ruling of niyaba, the representation, Hajj by representation. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم.